All right, back for another Consume Report. I believe it's episode 5. My type is up at the top, double masculine, FiSe, Consume Play, Sleep Blast. Was watching the latest SF show today. Antoine was on. They were talking about lead play versus play last, and kind of had an epiphany. And I came up with this merry-go-round analogy, and the more I think about it, the more it kind of helps me explain, the animals, the different stacks, and how they might be interacting. So, for me, if I had an expression to describe my skib/blast last, it'd be "Don't stop the merry-go-round." So, imagine I'm on a merry-go-round. Everybody's got their own merry-go-round, right? So I'm on my merry-go-round. I'm skibbing. I'm looking at everybody else's merry-go-rounds, trying to, see what I can take, basically, right? That's consume. I'm just trying to take what interests me from theirs, consume play, blast last, not give anything back, and then... But I imagine the connections almost as like a pirate throwing out a grappling hook to another ship that they're about to loot. It's just like, okay, you seem like an interesting person. We're in together in a shared context of some situation, and there's something interesting there. There's something interesting going on. It doesn't have to be a person. It can just be a scenario, and whatever it is, there's this kind of tenuous connection, but, pretty soon I want to go back to, spinning. I don't want to stop, definitely not stop for very long, because there's so many other merry-go-rounds out there. So I pictured that as my, my skib, and then I realized, so when I'm trying to blast, which is basically anything tedious, something I'm not interested in, something boring, just anything that I don't want to do it because it's not on my merry-go-round. It's not fun, fast, or easy. So the example I'll give you is building a brick wall. I've never built a brick wall, but I'll give the example. So I'm going around, and then as I'm going around, I realize, okay, there's this brick wall I need to build. It's becoming a thing in my head, some deadline or whatever, some tidal wave. So it's like, okay, I'll go around, and as I'm going around, I'll grab a trowel. And then, when I think of it again, I'll grab some mortar, and put it on the trowel, that stuff that goes in between the bricks. And then I'll grab a brick, and I'll spread the mortar on, and then I'll lay the brick. And then I'll repeat those steps. And so it takes me forever to do, the brick wall, because I'm trying to do that and skib, and while not stopping. It's just like, okay, I have to do this, but I don't want to stop it. I'm only willing to slow it down so much. And so that would be like my, just don't stop the merry-go-round would be if I had a slogan for my stack. And who knows if I don't know if that has to do with, the FI or the SE, or might be that stack might manifest in different ways for other, functions or modalities. But that for me was just like, yes, that is exactly it. That is the perfect way to describe what I do. So even writing an email, a basic email to my clientele, it's like, okay, where are the email addresses? And okay, how do I organize, and then, I got to find, my email thing will only send so many emails, so I got to do that. And then, okay, what do I want to put into the email? What are the questions? I was trying to survey them. I was like, okay, what are the questions I want to ask? And it's just like, these things, I just did not want to stop to do the thing. So it's just like, it literally took me a year. It is what it is. It took me over a year to write a survey email to my clientele. That's my life. But they didn't know I was trying to write it, so it wasn't like somebody was waiting for it. It was just me thinking I should do that, and all the meanwhile, one micro step at a time. Just as long as I don't have to stop this, it's all good. But anyways, so that got me to thinking, like, okay, well, what do other stacks, or, say, the different demons, so say like a sleep blast. I would imagine, and of course I could be wrong, but this is the Consume report. Chances are I'm wrong. But as I see things, as I understand things, sleep blasts, they never want to be on there. So they're just trying to hop around on other people's merry-go-rounds. Like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And they have this, like, they're just hopping around, and they just really don't want to be. And of course, they're neglecting it, so it's not even a place that they would want to be in. It's covered in dust and it's in disrepair. And I can almost see the consume last. I can see them just. It's spinning really slow, and they're just waiting to come. They don't want to be on their own merry-go-round. They're just, and then the second they come to somebody's like, hey, and then they'll start trying to build a connection. They'll just start like, hey, you should do this, and oh, do you need anything on your merry-go-round? What do you got going on over here? And they just are just that person who like just waits on their porch all day for somebody to walk by on the street, and then, hey, how you doing? Da da da, and then just trying to, anything to get them off the porch. I can almost see a consume last, as an extreme example. Obviously, in the real world, things are not that black and white, but just riding along, super slow, ready to stop it at any second. Just, hey, hi, boom, and then just, let's start building the connection here, and start building a bridge, a plank way, whatever, covered bridge, and then the blast lasts. Yeah, don't stop. Don't stop. Just do the thing a little bit at a time, or wait to the last minute. It's like, okay, emergency stop. Do the thing. Good enough. All right, let's get back on and go. And start doing our pirate grappling thing. And I say our like we all do that, but I'm just speaking for myself, really. I hope there's some application of this to somebody else, but. The play lasts, what I can see is possibly, so they're going, and let's see. Play lasts would be, they have some connections, they're in sync, they'll get in sync, but then I can see them, they'll start looking out, they'll connect a little bit, but then they'll be mostly in here, and then they won't realize that, like, the other person has rotated past, or they've rotated past, and they'll lose the connection because they're mostly in their own thing. So it's like as a skib, I'm mostly I want this going fast because I like the intensity, but then I'm like, yeah, you, and then I'll grapple. We'll be in sync for a little bit. I'll take from them, and I do want people to take from me. That maybe that's the play. I'm not completely selfish. I always hope that I love it when there's like a synergy and everybody grows from the conversations. But then it's like, okay, something's changed. Context, time's up. Context has changed. Blah blah. On to the next thing, and just keep spinning. So, I don't know. I found this to be helped me at least understand the stacks and the the demons, the demon functions, especially like what they might be doing, what's going on. Is this spinning? How fast is it spinning? How often does it start and stop? Obviously, if you're fully balanced, this should be really flexible. Like, you should be willing to stop and connect. And so it's like, okay, I gotta go, and then all the connections should be semi-permanent, It's like, okay, I come around, reestablish connection, reestablish connections, share information, reestablish connections, and I'm in here building, something useful for myself and for others. It's like, hey, from this merry-go-round, I learned this. Did you know this? This guy's doing this. Did you know this? And just, balanced. So yeah, that's helping me, and hopefully it'll help you. All right, thanks.